Shagalam everyone, this is CFRD and welcome to Bengalscape. Today our special guest is from the United States of America. Please welcome Janna. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
I think we met online 2 years ago or two and a half
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
So do you remember that day? Like
I
we met?
do. And
All
I
right.
think it was because of the pandemic we met because I was at I was employed during the pandemic, thank God. But there was a time where I wasn't employed and I was just spending time online and searching for different people to speak to,
Mhm.
and we met on like this platform, and we were talking about American history. That was like our first long conversation.
Yeah, you were explaining really well back then, and I was just, curious as always. Um, you were also mentioning a story that you were almost gonna get into trouble for driving um, in America. Like I know there's a lot of traffic rules out there in the
Yeah,
U.S.
we're
Yeah.
very regulated when it comes to traffic violations. Like even compared to the Western world or the developed world, like I know a lot of Europeans friends, they come here and they're surprised how strict we are. Whilst for me it feels normal. So in my area, I live in North Carolina, and North Carolina is has islands that kind of it's detached from the state, so there's a bridge, so the mainland can go to the beaches. So I was crossing that bridge, and that bridge is 45 miles per hour. You may have to translate into kilometers per hour. And when it says 45 miles per hour, you cannot go 46 or 47. You have to stay at 45.
Yeah.
So I crossed it at 45, and then there is a traffic light. I stop at the traffic light, and mind you, it was early in the morning because I was getting to work, so no one was around me.
Hmm.
I go green. The traffic light turns green. That means go. And I go, and literally 2 seconds later, I hear wee you, wee you, wee you, and
Yeah.
it's the police siren. And I was like, oh, good thing that's not for me because I didn't break the law. And then when you don't pull over, the police siren becomes louder, and the police car will like touch your bumper basically, and it's like, oh, I guess it is for me. So I just pull up to the side, and I get, okay, always get your license and registration out. Never get money. You cannot bribe American police officers. Like if you pull out money, then you will get arrested. Actually, like don't mess with that.
Well, yeah.
So license registration, and then she was a lady police officer actually, so I felt like I don't know, I had an advantage. And she said, do you know what you were doing back there, after she checked my license and registration, and I have no criminal record.
Hmm.
Oh, no, Miss Officer. And then she was like, what, do you know what speed you were going at? I was like, 45 miles per hour. She was like, no, as soon as you come to the beach you go 35 miles per hour. And I was like, oh, I am so sorry, officer. I did not mean to do that. And the thing is, she could not arrest me, or she could not give me a ticket because she didn't have a reading, like a speed gun rating on me, because she was already driving as well. She just stopped me because she said it looked like you were going too fast. And I wasn't. I will die on that. I was not going too
Oh,
fast.
so it was like just a suspicion, and she
Exactly.
thought that.
It wasn't
All right.
on paper. So when you get a ticket for speeding, the officer will issue the ticket, and you have to go to court, actually.
Yeah.
You cannot pay it online. You need to go to court, and there's a judge and everything. You can plead guilty and pay the ticket, basically, or you can challenge it. And no one wants to challenge it because it's like, uh, come on, the officer had the reading. How are you to challenge that? But some people challenge it because we have smartphones now, and some apps will
Record
read your
and
speed as
yeah.
well. So I know like more and more people are challenging it. But it she just pulled me over on an empty street, 7 in the morning,
Hmm.
because she was like, you looked like a threat. You looked like you were driving, and I was driving in a truck as well. So my mom said that also increased the suspicion. But that just goes to show how strict the rules are.
Very strict.
Another thing, you can get a ticket. We have like, there's lights behind the car. If your light is like broken, you can get a ticket for that because it's a safety violation.
Hmm. I'm honestly a fan of these rules. I wish, our country would have more of these, so a lot of accidents could be prevented. I'm happy you didn't go to jail. I really
Yeah.
am. And
Like,
yeah, I mean, I was just gonna ask you, like, you went out at 7 a.m. and you were driving really fast, you said, or
I
I mean,
wasn't.
like,
I was
kind of
not.
fast. I mean, okay. Let's assume, for the sake
I
of
was going
argument,
45. Okay, let's say I was going 45.
45 miles an hour, you said.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So where were you heading at? Like, could you please share
I
with
was
us?
going to I was going to work. I was a housekeeper back then. So I was a housekeeper for the beach houses in North Carolina. So I was stuck on that island, and that officer kept following me the rest of the day.
Officer kept following me the rest of the day.
Say
And
what?
I
The
had
rest
to
of the
tell
day.
yeah, I had to
Oh,
tell my boss like, sorry, I'm like being extra cautious driving. I'm gonna be late and all this stuff. But yeah, Americans aren't lazy. We also do like really hard jobs. Like we had to wake up in the morning and literally scrub toilets. I had to do that and
wow.
change the sheets, mop the floors, even do the dishes. Like anything with hospitality and cleaning, I had to do.
It's really cool. Like, you get a habit of working and having your own responsibility from an early age.
Yeah.
Whereas in our side of the world, it's very difficult or surprising to work when you're not even a graduate yet from, I mean, your undergraduate degree. So that is something about the American culture I really appreciate, where you're starting your work when you're like 15, 16, or
Yeah.
yeah, like around that age in the fast food restaurants and sometimes even in the office place, you told me.
Yeah, like stuff like filing papers and anything. Like I see like some of my high school friends, they were able to do that. But fast food is like it's almost a rite of passage to have your first job at McDonald's or Burger King.
Yeah, like being a waiter or being a cashier, I guess, or
Oh,
maybe a
yeah.
janitor. Like, it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't think you guys can become like a manager or someone in that position when you're
No,
only a
no, not
student.
yet.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're 20, 23, you can become a manager if you worked at the same place since you were 16. I've seen it happen.
Okay. Well, yeah, it makes sense because they have the experience, they know the work culture and the company well. Yeah, it makes sense.
More videos coming soon.
Subscribe to Bengals Cape.